So banks make billions every year, but in 2008, they nearly collapsed and we paid the price. So how do banks actually make their money? Well, let's break it down. So banks take your deposits, so your wages, your savings, your pensions, and they use them to fund loans and investments. The difference between what they charge for borrowing and what they pay out for saving is called the spread. And that's where much of their profit comes from. They also earn from fees, so overdraft account charges and foreign transactions. And they invest in things like government bonds and corporate debts. But here's the part that most people don't know. So when a bank gives you a loan, it simply types in a new deposit into your account. That money didn't exist before, it's created in that process. It's called credit creation, and it's how most money in our economy is now born. So this can cause inflation, but it can also cause economic growth. It really depends on what the loan is used for. So imagine a marketplace. There's 10 apples and 10 people, each with a pound. Everyone gets an apple for a pound and the prices stay steady. But now the bank lends £10 to 10 more people. So there's twice as much money, but there's still only 10 apples. People start bidding on the apples and the prices rise. That's inflation. But if that lending helps somebody to grow 10 more apples, then there's more apples to go around, prices stay stable. If banks lend into speculation, like for example, bidding up house prices, it inflates the asset without creating real value. That's how bubbles form. But when they burst, the damage spreads fast, like the housing crash in 2008. So in the 2000s, banks started to lend really heavily to people who just couldn't afford to repay that loan. And those risky loans were bundled up and sold worldwide. So when borrowers then defaulted, the system cracked, the panic spread, and major banks teetered on collapse. So in the UK, £137 billion was committed to rescuing banks like Royal Bank of Scotland and Lloyds. Most of this was repaid, but about £40 billion was written off, and we, the public, took the hit. Now, when managed responsibly, banks are vital. They help families buy homes, they help businesses grow and communities to thrive. But when profit outweighs principle, the consequences can be devastating. So it's not about demonising banks, it's about demanding better stewardship. Because when banks gamble and lose, it's society who pays.